The concept of where the dead will go during the day of rapture is deeply rooted in religious beliefs, traditions, and interpretations. It speaks to a moment of divine intervention, a reckoning that transcends human understanding and ushers in a new era. Many envision this event as one where the boundaries between the living and the dead dissolve, uniting souls in a transformative experience. The dead, who lie in their graves or have passed into the mysteries of the afterlife, are thought to rise in an extraordinary display of spiritual power. Some believe that the dead will be called forth, their bodies resurrected and reunited with their souls, to face the judgment of eternity. In this perspective, the graves are no longer resting places but portals, where the earth gives up its hold, releasing those who have slept in silence. The righteous among them, purified by grace, are taken up into a celestial realm of light, peace, and everlasting joy. They are joined with the living faithful, who are also caught up in this divine ascent, leaving behind a world transformed by the unfolding of divine will. Others interpret this event as a symbolic passage, where the dead do not return in physical form but instead experience a spiritual awakening. Their spirits, long separated from the constraints of earthly existence, are drawn into a higher state of being. It is a moment of profound reunion, where the faithful dead join the heavenly chorus, embracing a destiny that has been promised since the beginning of time. For those who did not walk the path of righteousness, the day of rapture is seen as a time of reckoning. Their souls, weighed by the burdens of unrepented sins, face divine justice. This vision often describes a separation, where the unfaithful are not taken into the glory of the divine but are instead left to endure the consequences of their choices. It is a moment of clarity and truth, where no deception can stand, and every soul is laid bare. The imagery surrounding this event is vivid and awe-inspiring. Skies open, trumpets sound, and the world stands still as the dead rise in a display of divine power. It is a time when the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the eternal truths that have been whispered through generations are revealed in their fullness. For many, this is a moment of hope and fulfillment, a reminder that death is not the end but a transition into a greater reality. Yet, the specifics of what happens to the dead during Rapture Day remain shrouded in mystery, a matter of faith rather than empirical understanding. Different traditions offer their interpretations, each colored by its unique cultural and spiritual lens. Some see it as a literal event, while others understand it as a metaphorical expression of spiritual truths. What unites these perspectives is the belief in the enduring power of the divine, the promise of renewal, and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. This vision of the rapture and the fate of the dead serves as a source of comfort for many, a reassurance that life has meaning beyond its earthly bounds. It reminds us of the interconnectedness of all things, the bond between the living and the dead, and the hope that lies in the promise of redemption. It is a call to live with purpose, to seek the good, and to prepare for the moment when all will be made clear. The story continues, weaving through the hearts and minds of those who ponder its mysteries, shaping their understanding of life, death, and the eternal. It is a narrative that invites reflection, faith, and the yearning to understand the divine plan. And as we explore these ideas, we find ourselves drawn closer to the profound questions that have always stirred the human spirit, questions about who we are, where we are going, and what awaits us when the final trumpet sounds. As the story unfolds, the journey of the dead during the rapture becomes not only a theological concept but also a deeply personal reflection on the nature of existence itself. It speaks to the eternal questions of purpose, love, justice, and the unseen realms that lie beyond the veil of mortality. This event is imagined as the Great Convergence, where time and eternity meet, and the distinctions between the physical and spiritual dissolve into a higher order of reality. For many, the dead who are taken during the rapture are not merely individuals, they are the collective witnesses of humanity's story. They carry with them the triumphs, sorrows, and lessons of countless generations. In their rising, there is a sense of completion, as if the threads of human history are being woven into the final tapestry of existence. Those who have lived with faith and virtue are seen as the blessed, their souls glowing with the fulfillment of promises made long ago. Their reunion with the divine is not just an end but a new beginning, one that transcends the limitations of earthly life. And yet, the rapture also highlights the solemnity of justice. In many interpretations, it is not simply a time of rejoicing for the faithful but also a moment of reckoning for those who turned away from grace. The dead who are left behind, in some visions, face the reality of their choices, standing in the presence of truth without the coverings of pretense or denial. This separation is often described as a painful yet necessary act, a manifestation of divine justice tempered with mercy, where each soul is given what it has sought. The imagery of the Rapture Day often paints a picture of cosmic upheaval, as if the very fabric of the universe is being restructured to align with divine order. Mountains tremble, seas roar, and the heavens open in a display of power and majesty. The dead rise not as passive participants but as central figures in this unfolding drama, their resurrection a testament to the power of life over death. It is a moment when the mysteries of existence are unveiled, and the eternal truth shines forth in all its glory. The rising of the dead is also seen as a moment of healing and restoration. In some traditions, the rapture represents the undoing of all the pain and suffering that death has caused throughout history. Families torn apart by loss are reunited, and the wounds of separation are mended in a love that knows no end. The dead, who have waited in patience or sorrow, are called into the light, their journey completed in a way that brings closure and peace. For those contemplating the rapture, the fate of the dead serves as a profound reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. It challenges the living to reflect on their own lives, to consider the legacy they will leave behind, and to prepare for their own moment of transformation. As the rapture narrative continues, it delves deeper into the profound spiritual significance of the event, exploring how the fate of the dead reflects the ultimate harmony of divine justice and mercy. This moment is seen not as an arbitrary or chaotic occurrence but as the culmination of a meticulously designed plan, where every soul is given its due place in the tapestry of eternity. The rising of the dead serves as a powerful symbol of renewal and hope, illustrating that death is not an end but a passage into a more profound and eternal reality. The experience of the dead during the rapture is often described as both personal and collective. Each soul's journey is unique, shaped by their choices, beliefs, and the way they live their earthly lives. At the same time, the event represents a universal awakening, where all of humanity comes face to face with the divine. This duality, the individual and the collective, creates a sense of unity, emphasizing that the story of the rapture is not just about separation but about connection. The dead rise not in isolation but as part of a great gathering, a reunion of souls that transcends time and space. The vision of this gathering is filled with powerful imagery, luminous beings ascending into the heavens, their forms no longer bound by the limitations of mortality. The dead who rise are often described as transformed, their earthly bodies replaced with glorified ones, reflecting the purity and perfection of the divine. This transformation is a testament to the victory of life over death, a reminder that the grave is not the final word. It is a promise fulfilled, a demonstration of the power of grace to restore and renew. In some interpretations, the rapture is not only about the dead rising but also about the living being changed. The living and the dead are brought together, united in a shared destiny, their differences erased in the light of divine truth. This union is a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of all existence, showing that the boundaries we perceive, between life and death, the physical and the spiritual, are ultimately illusory. The rapture reveals a deeper reality, one where these distinctions dissolve into the infinite oneness of the divine. For those who remain, the rapture is a moment of profound revelation. The rising of the dead serves as a sign, a visible manifestation of the invisible truths that have guided humanity through the ages. It is a call to repentance, a chance for the living to turn their hearts toward the divine and embrace the path of righteousness. Even in its solemnity, the rapture carries a message of hope, reminding all who witness it that grace is always within reach, even in the face of judgment. The fate of the dead during the rapture also raises questions about memory and legacy. Those who rise bring with them the stories of their lives, the lessons they have learned, and the impact they have left behind. Their resurrection is a reminder that every life matters, that every action leaves a mark on the world. It challenges the living to consider their own legacy, to reflect on the values they uphold and the choices they make. In this way, the rapture is not just about the dead but about the living, urging all to live with purpose and to seek the eternal truths that lie beyond the material world. This vision of the rapture continues to inspire and challenge, inviting humanity to look beyond the surface of existence and to consider the deeper meaning of life and death. It is a story of transformation, a journey from the temporal to the eternal, from separation to unity, from death to life. And as this story unfolds, it draws us closer to the mystery of the divine, reminding us that the end is not truly an end but a beginning, a doorway into the infinite possibilities of the eternal. The unfolding narrative of the rapture is one of boundless awe and profound mystery, as it weaves together themes of redemption, justice, and the eternal nature of the soul. As the dead rise, their journey symbolizes the triumph of hope over despair and the fulfillment of promises that echo through the scriptures and the hearts of believers. It is not just a single event, but a revelation, a divine unveiling of truth that transforms the understanding of existence itself. In the moments when the dead are called forth, the spiritual and physical realms intertwine. The barriers between them dissolve, and the unseen becomes visible. For many, this represents the ultimate confirmation of faith, the moment when everything that seemed distant and intangible suddenly becomes real. It is a time of realization, where the mysteries of life and death are no longer questions but answers, revealed with overwhelming clarity. The dead are imagined as ascending in joy and peace, their souls illuminated by the divine light that beckons them forward. In their rising, there is a profound sense of liberation, as the burdens of earthly life are left behind. Pain, suffering, and sorrow dissolve in the presence of the eternal, replaced by a deep and abiding peace. This transformation is not just physical but spiritual, as the dead are restored to their fullest and most radiant selves, reflecting the perfection of the divine design. For those who lived righteously, the rapture is a moment of fulfillment, the culmination of a life lived in faith and devotion. These souls are welcomed into the eternal embrace of the divine, their struggles and sacrifices honored in a celebration of love and grace. The rising of the dead is not merely a reunion with the living but a reunion with the source of all creation, a return to the divine presence that is both the origin and the destination of all life. Yet the rapture is not without its gravity. For those who have turned away from the divine, it is a time of reckoning. The rising of the dead serves as a mirror, reflecting the truth of their choices and the consequences of their actions. It is a moment of unflinching clarity, where the illusions of the world are stripped away, and each soul stands face to face with the reality of their life. While this aspect of the rapture is often portrayed as solemn and somber, it is also seen as a moment of possibility, a chance for redemption and a reminder that the grace of the divine is always within reach. The cosmic scale of the rapture amplifies its significance. The heavens are said to open, revealing the glory of the divine in a way that leaves no room for doubt. The rising of the dead is accompanied by celestial phenomena, blinding light, the sound of trumpets, and the trembling of the earth. These signs are not meant to inspire fear but to awaken awe, to remind humanity of its place in the vast and intricate design of creation. The rapture is not just an event for the individual but a transformation of the entire cosmos, a renewal of all things in the light of divine love. For the living, the sight of the dead rising is both a challenge and an inspiration. It serves as a reminder of the brevity of life and the importance of living with intention and integrity. The rapture calls humanity to look beyond the distractions of the world and to focus on the eternal. It is an invitation to live in harmony with the divine will, to seek justice, to love deeply, and to walk with humility and faith. As the narrative of the rapture continues to unfold, it becomes clear that it is not a story of fear but one of hope. It speaks to the enduring promise that life, even in its most difficult moments, has meaning and purpose. It reminds us that death is not an end but a transition, a doorway to a reality that is far greater than we can imagine. The rapture is a vision of renewal and restoration, a testament to the power of the divine to bring light out of darkness, life out of death, and joy out of sorrow. And as this vision continues, it invites all who hear it to reflect, to hope, and to believe in the boundless possibilities of the eternal. As the narrative of the rapture draws toward its culmination, the sense of finality merges with the promise of new beginnings. The dead, who have risen in glory, represent the ultimate victory of life and spirit, their transformation a beacon of hope for the living. Their ascent is not just a personal fulfillment but a profound testament to the enduring power of divine love, a love that transcends time, death, and all earthly limitations. It is a moment that unites creation in a harmony that has been longed for since the beginning of time. In this final act, the separation between the righteous and the unrighteous becomes evident. For the faithful, the rapture is an invitation into the eternal presence of the divine, where they are embraced in a reality filled with peace, joy, and the fullness of love. They are reunited not only with the Creator but also with loved ones who shared their faith and hope. This eternal communion is described as a feast, a celebration of life everlasting, where every tear is wiped away, and every sorrow is forgotten. For those who remain outside this embrace, the rapture serves as a moment of profound realization. It is a chance to confront the truth of their lives and the choices that have shaped their destinies. Yet even in this solemn moment, the door to grace remains open. The divine is portrayed not as a vengeful force but as a loving presence, always reaching out, always offering redemption. For some, this realization leads to a transformation of heart, a final turning toward the light, even as the world itself undergoes its ultimate renewal. The climax of the rapture is often envisioned as the restoration of all things. The earth, once marred by conflict, suffering, and division, is transformed into a realm of harmony and beauty. The heavens and the earth are made new, reflecting the perfection of divine intention. The living and the dead who are part of this transformation become co-inheritors of a reality that knows no end, a kingdom where love reigns supreme and every soul finds its rightful place. In this renewed creation, the dead who have risen are no longer seen as separate from the living. Together, they form a single, unified family, bound by the love that emanates from the divine source. The divisions of the past, between life and death, between nations and peoples, are no more. What remains is an eternal present, filled with the light of understanding, the warmth of compassion, and the joy of existence fully realized. And so, the story of the rapture concludes not as an ending but as a beginning. It is the culmination of a journey that leads beyond the limits of time and space, into a reality that is infinite and eternal. It reminds us that the mysteries of life and death are not barriers to be feared but paths to be embraced. The rising of the dead, the transformation of the living, and the renewal of creation are all part of a greater narrative, one that invites every soul to take its place in the divine story. As we reflect on this vision, we are reminded that the rapture is not just a distant event but a call to live with purpose and hope in the present. It speaks to the enduring truth that love, faith, and grace are the forces that shape our lives and guide us toward the eternal. And in this truth, we find the assurance that, no matter where we are on our journey, we are always part of a greater whole, always moving toward the light, and always held in the boundless embrace of the divine. We have gotten to the end of this video. Kindly like and subscribe.